Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Lich.
Radiant team pick.
Earth Shaker.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team, Radiant team.
Clockwork!
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Disruptor!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Abyssal Underlord!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Radiant team ban.
Monkey King.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Shadow Fiend.
Radiant team pick.
Sven stands ready.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Old Bear Siddharth Prashant, and this evening we have got a game between I Can Only Dream and Play5. You must have seen Play5's game yesterday, and I Can Only Dream, they're a really good team. So Play5 is playing on the Radiant side. Their draft is looking really good. They have a bunch of stunts and disables. And talking about stunts and disables and other stuff, we have I Can Only Dream doing that Clockwork plus Shadow Fiend combination where he uses the cogs and the Shadow Fiend denies them to get those early souls, which is definitely going to be coming in handy early on in the game versus that Wind Ranger, who I assume is going to be going to the mid lane. The extra damage is going to help him get a lot more CS. The Lich, meanwhile, in the mid lane plays an Observer Ward. That is going to help the Shadow Fiend a lot more. The Underlord, he has 2 mangoes, a Stout Shield. He's looking really tanky. He's looking set. He will be able to do pretty good against a Sven in the safe lane, if that is what they're going for, I assume. We see a 4-man smoke up coming in from Play5. They are rotating onto the dire jungle,
30 seconds
hoping to get a
battle.
pick off on any of those heroes. The Monkey King is going to be going to the safe lane, so that is a carry Monkey King. I haven't seen carry Monkey King work in this patch since they did that nerf. Okay, we see that Wind Ranger moonwalking. He is going to break the smoke. The Monkey King is going to be spotted out by the Wind Ranger and the Sven. The Sven is going to go for that Stormhammer, and yeah, the Monkey King is going to die, giving the first blood to God's Timer. We see a well played coming in from Underlord. Good, show good sportsmanship, if I can say so myself. With that, the game is going to resume. The Shadow Fiend is going to block the mid lane. The Earthshaker and the Disruptor are going to be near the mid lane, trying to help the Wind Ranger get those crucial last hits. We see the Monkey King has turned himself into the courier so he can move faster. That is something which I think Valve got it right when they introduced Monkey King into the game. Just look at that courier, just look at that donkey moving around in that lane. Meanwhile, on the bottom, we see the Underlord is going to start out with that early point into Firestorm. That is going to make sure that he will be able to harass that Sven out of the bottom lane. If he can prevent the Sven from getting those crucial levels and getting that great cleave, he will deter the farming capacity of the Sven greatly. We see the Lich meanwhile in the mid lane. He is denying most of those range creeps, so the Wind Ranger will not be having a good time experience wise. We see a pull coming in from the side of Dire. They are going to be pulling onto the hard camp, but the Doom is going to spot that out. He's going to use that Q of his to eat some of those creeps, make sure he gets that experience. He is going to activate his heal, and he is going to make sure that the Clockwork and Monkey King do not get that. Actually, it's not the Clockwork who's pulling the lane, it's the Doom. That is quite surprising. If he does this right, I think he is going to get way more farm than the safe lane Monkey King, if he plays this right. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we see the Shadow Fiend already has 18 souls, so he is going to have a really good time. You see the battery, not the battery assault, the cogs being deployed by the Clockwork. He is going to burn off some of that mana from the Doom, but he does have that magic wand, so he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, the mid lane, the Shadow Fiend is taking a bunch of damage. And the Wind Ranger animation is quite weird. He seems to be moonwalking throughout the game. And the Shadow Fiend, he is going to go for that one raise, but no, the Wind Ranger gets that kill. But he's gonna get sniped up by the Lich, who did stay in that lane. He was behind the tier 1. He did not get spotted out, so he's also going to go down. That is a fair trade, if I can say so myself. Though the Shadow Fiend dying first will result in the Wind Ranger getting that boost of experience by killing that hero. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the Sven has his boots, bronze boots, so he could go for the spot checks. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the Doom is going to get cocked up by the Clockwork. He is taking a lot of damage. One more hit from the Monkey King will secure the kill, but they will not be able to get that. The Doom is going to run away. He is going to be under the safe grasp of the tier 1. We see the Earthshaker and the Disruptor rotating onto the bottom lane, trying to make life easier for the Sven. I don't think that is a really good idea. The Underlord is really tanky. You can see the Firestorm spam coming out from the Underlord. He does deal quite a bit of damage if he gets those atrophy or stacks. A poor man's shield being completed onto the Underlord. That is going to negate a lot of damage. We see the Enchant Totem, which is supposed to be dealing a lot of physical damage early on in the game. It's not dealing a lot to the Underlord with that poor man's shield. Meanwhile, the Lich, he's just doing what most supports do, not take any farm and just roam around and try to make life easier for their carries. Maybe he's going to go for some stacks, as Shadow Fiend is a really good hero to go for stacks. You see the battery assault coming in from the Clockwork down in the bottom lane. The Earthshaker is going to get chased by the Clockwork and the Underlord. But then again, they do have the turn. The Firestorm is going to get deployed. The Stormhammer coming in from the Sven is going to lock down
Dire's middle tower
the Underlord, but then again, he does end up going down. The Clockwork is trying to chase the Sven. He does have that movement speed advantage, but he does not get caught out by the Static Storm, so he is going to be fine. No, the Cog's mana burn is going to secure that kill onto the Sven, and the Clockwork in tandem with the Lich get that kill and experience. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Ring of Aquila is going to get completed. The Shadow Fiend with the double damage rune is not something you should take lightly. The Monkey King, meanwhile, in the top lane, he has his poor man's shield. I hope he's going to go for the phase boots. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we see the trap onto the mid ranger. He is probably going to die. Yes, one more right click from the Sven. No, it is going to be shared between the three supports, the two supports, and the Shadow Fiend for I Can Only Dream. You see the Monkey King, he's going to be having a decent lane. He can't do anything to the Doom in terms of reducing his farm, since he does have that Q to farm, but then again he is making sure that the Doom is not staying in the lane actively. He does have to rely on the jungle most of the time to get those farm. The bottom lane though, we see a strong hammer coming onto the Underlord. He is going to get stunned. The enchant totem is okay. He does not have that aftershock being skilled, so he's not going to proc that stun, but the Fissure is enough to keep him in those trees for now. Okay, he is going to get spotted out by the 3 heroes. The Firestorm is going to get deployed. The Disruptor is going to take a decent amount of damage. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see the Doom is going to get trapped up by the Clockwork, and he is going to go down. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the Underlord is looking really strong. One more right click onto the Earthshaker is going to secure the kill, but the Lich takes that.
Radiant's top tower is
Okay,
under
the
attack.
Earthshaker and the Doom go down for the side of Play5. I can only looking really strong in the early game.
Unorthodox, but effective.
Unorthodox but effective, as the Lich says. He is going to get that kill onto the Disruptor. He has a haste. He's trying to look for a kill onto the Sven. If he does spot him out early on, he can get the kill, but the Sven is under the tower of the tier 1, so he's going to be safe now. Dunderlord is looking really strong. He will be able to complete his arcane boots given a few minutes. The Lich, okay, he has a Hand of Midas being queued up in his quick buy, so the Lich is gearing up for the late game. The Hand of Midas is really good on supports. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we see the Underlord is going to get initiator upon again. He's not taking a lot of damage. The Stormhammer is going to connect. The Kinetic Field is going to trap him up for a while, but Underlord is just going to turn around. He has that magic wand to pop. The Firestorm is dealing a decent amount of damage. One more right click onto the Sven. He turns around and gets a kill onto the Sven. And we see the Lich coming in. He uses that slow onto the... Okay, seems as though the Earthshaker is also going to go down. A mega kill streak on the Lich so early on into the game. I Can Only Dream is doing really well. We see a pause coming in from the Monkey King. I assume they have some issues to sort out, and I'm going to take this time to be a corporate sellout and give out a shout out to our sponsor SRM University and Phoenix Market City, Bangalore. SRM University, as you know, they are a really huge educational institution in India. They also have their own hospitals. And Phoenix Market City, Bangalore, if you are someone who shops in malls, you know that Phoenix Market City is one of the top malls in India. Do check them out. And the game is going to get unpaused, and 2 raises into the mid lane, and the Shadow Fiend gets the kill onto the Wind Ranger. He just goes down just like that. And the Doom is going to get spotted out by the Clockwork. He does activate his heal, but he is going to get trapped up by the Clockwork. But it does not seem like the Clockwork is dealing enough damage. The Doom could have turned around, tried to maybe contest for the kill, but he decides otherwise. He wants to get the farm, which is more important in this game. The bounty rune on the dire top jungle is going to get picked up by the Clockwork. So that is one rune getting stolen right under the nose of the Doom. The Doom, though, he does not look really well. He is getting zoned out of the lane pretty hard by the Clockwork. So the Doom has a Blink Dagger being put up in his quick buy. He does not plan on going for boots. That is kind of weird, but I think if once he gets those early Blink Daggers, he can team fight more. We see an Enchanter coming onto the bottom lane. The Underlord, he does not give 2 damns about what is going to go on. The Chain Frost is going to get used, and the Earthshake goes down once more. The Lich with an unstoppable streak. You see the Tranquil Boots being completed onto the Clockwork. He has a Sentry if he's looking to go for those D-wards. He does have that Infused Raindrop in his inventory, so he's going to be fairly tanky to the magic damage being dealt by the Disruptor and the Earthshaker. We see the Sven is getting really dangerously low, and the Lich is going to get that kill. The Underlord is really tanky, but he is not tanky enough to tank the damage coming in from the tower. The Disruptor is looking really low. Maybe he gets spotted out by the Clockwork. The Clockwork places, okay, the Disruptor places that Observer Ward over that area, and he knows that they are looking to go for a kill. We see a Doom coming onto the Monkey King. The Monkey King is looking really Okay, he is not in any imminent danger. He's just going to run under the tier 1 and he's going to be safe. We also see the Sven rotating onto the top lane. He does not want anything to do with that Underlord for now. That is quite dangerous. Meanwhile, we see a shadow shot onto the mid lane from on the Clockwork. The Clockwork is looking quite a bit low. He is going to use that Cogs, hoping that the Wind Ranger would run towards him and burn some mana, but that was not the case. We see the Shadow Fiend. Meanwhile, he is going to be jungling for now. He has that Mask of Madness already. He's going to have that in a while. Once he gets that, his farming speed is going to multiply by tons.
Radiant's
And once that
bottom tower
happens,
is under
he can
attack.
take jungle, while any of the other supports like the Clockwork or the Lich can take the lane and get the farm, essential farm that is going to help them secure a bunch of kills. We see an initiation onto the Underlord in the bottom lane. He is going to use the Firestorm that is going to do a lot of damage. And we see a Lich get his second Haste Rune coming in. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see the Monkey King trying to go for the Sven. The Sven is going to be safe for now. The Monkey King, though, he plans on turning around. This might not be one of the good ideas, but that Boundless Strike is going to be enough lifesteal to make sure that he's going to live through that, and he's going to get a double kill. A brilliant turnaround coming in from the Monkey King, secures 2 kills and makes sure that the Sven is in a bad position. He did not do well in the bottom lane, he's not doing well in the top lane, so I guess the Sven will have to rotate onto the jungle. Hopefully his supports will have a bunch of stats ready by then. Sven is a hero who you need to be scared about, even though he does not do well in the early game. He can come back into the late game. We see a TP onto the bottom lane from the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker uses that figure to zone out the Underlord and the Lich. We see a Chain Frost coming in down to the bottom lane. The Chain Frost is not going to bounce onto those heroes. One more last bounce onto the Doom. The Doom is going to get stunned up by the Clockwork. The Clockwork is going to use those shots and make sure that the Disruptor is going to stay back. But we see the Sven going for the Stormhammer onto the Underlord, but the Underlord is not looking to die right now. The Wind Ranger, though, gets that power shot onto the Clockwork and secures the kill. We see the kinetic field zoning out the Underlord. He is probably going to die. Yes, he is going to die. The extra armor did not come in handy. We see a beautiful Boundless Strike onto 3 people. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Shadow Fiend is going to take that tier 1. We see a 4-on-4 fight. On 5-on-4 fight onto the bottom lane. The Underlord is the only one who is missing. We see the Boundless Strike is going to... Okay, he's not going to use that yet. He does not have that. We see a Doom onto the Monkey King. The Monkey King is looking really weak right now. If he gets one more stack and the lifesteal, he is looking really good right now, but the Stormhammer is going to connect. And the Shen Totem onto the Monkey King. He is going to get denied by the Clockwork. The Clockwork making the plays happen. He's going to get... The Sven is going to get trapped in the batteries. He does not have any mana to work with. If they decide to go for him, it is certain death. The Firestorm is going to secure that kill. The Lich is godlike already, 12 minutes into the game. Would you look at that? We see the Disruptor running for his dear life. And yeah, I hope that he is safe for now. No, the Clockwork is trying to look for a kill onto the Earthshaker. He is trapped in the bottom lane. The Doom is going to TP. They're trying to help out his dear friend. Meanwhile, the Shadow Fiend, during all these fights, he's not been present. He's just getting fatter and fatter, just farming those neutral creeps. Maybe once he gets a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, he can participate in those fights and utterly decimate the Sven and all the rest of the heroes from Play5. We do see a smoke onto the inventory of the Clockwork. He does have it in his backpack though, so I don't think the smoke play is coming anytime soon. Maybe he can just swap it out and try to go for it right now, since the Lich is looking really strong. The tier 1 down to the bottom lane is going to get contested by the Underlord and the Lich. No TPs coming in. It seems as though Play5 have given up on the bottom lane. That is a really good choice to make, because if they do keep on going to the bottom lane and feeding off their heroes, that is only going to work against them. We see the Shadow Fiend. He's really farmed. He has a Dragon Lance, a Mask of Madness, and the Power Dress and the Aquila to boot. He can totally participate in these team fights and get a bunch of kills. We see in the top lane, the Wind Ranger is going to get spotted out with those creeps. The Lich, meanwhile, he wants to go for the Glimmer Cape. The Earthshaker, though, he's not looking really well. He is going to complete his Arcane Boots finally for 15 minutes into the game. The Wind Ranger is going to spot out the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend, though, he is looking really, really strong. So the Shadow Fiend is just going to TP. The Shadow Fiend is not going to do it. Ranger is going to TP. We see an initiation onto the mid lane. A bottom strike here. Once more blasted from the Monkey King is going to secure that kill. The score is 16-7 in favor of I Can Only Dream. They're looking really strong, and it does not seem like Play5 have any place to make in this game. They're not playing it well, they're not playing it safe enough, they don't have enough wards to spot out the rotations from the supports from I Can Only Dream. It's not like most of the carries are getting these kills, it's the combination of the Lich and the Clockwork who are getting these kills. We see an Arcane Rune being picked up by the Shadow Fiend. The Hand of Midas on the Lich. That is going to make sure that he will scale onto the late game, but I don't think there is going to be a late game in this match because I Can Only Dream is so dominant. You see the Sven, he is struggling to complete that Echo Saber. Once he has that, maybe they have a chance in this game. The Echo Saber is completed on the Monkey King. He does have that, he's going to be having that in the career and in his inventory pretty soon. We see 3 people onto the bottom lane. We see a smoke from the Clockwork coming into play. Finally, the Lich is not going to be smoked up, but that might be the case. He's probably going to be the bait. Maybe not. We see the Clockwork looking to go for a kill onto the Wind Ranger. The Wind Ranger is going to get stunned up, and the hook shot onto the Clockwork. The Clockwork is going to make sure that the Wind Ranger is going to go down. The Battery Assault is going to stun up the Doom for a while, but the Doom is too tanky, so they decide not to go for the kill. The Lich at this point is beyond godlike. Things are not looking really well for Play5. I've said this too many times. There is a gathering in the bottom lane from the side of I Can Only Dream. They are looking to push down this tier 2. Get that early structure so they have that goal advantage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Bottom lane's tier 2 is going to get contested. The Firestorm is going to melt down the creeps.
Is under attack.
And the tower is soon to follow.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
For the Clockwork, he has that Force Staff being queued up. That is a counter Force Staff for the Force Staff, which could be potentially be built by side of Play5 to counter the Clockwork. Counterception, if I can say so myself. I'm sorry, I should not be making those jokes. I'm really bad at those. 5 heroes are gathered up in the mid lane for Play5. They do not want to split up. If they do split up, it's certain death for them. The Clockwork and the Lich are a tedious combination to get those kills. You see the Monkey King transforming himself into a tree. He is going to get spotted out by the Observer Ward being placed in the jungle. Play5 know that the Monkey King is in the jungle. So we see the Roshan for I Can Only Dream. I don't think the heroes from Play5 want to contest this. As I said, they are not going to contest it. They are just going to go back into that jungle and spawn that up. This Roshan is melting like butter. The Monkey King in combination with the Shadow Fiend are melting the Roshan. They just probably going to go for the Shadow Fiend. Maybe right now the Shadow Fiend can participate in these team fights and get a bunch of kills. Maybe even finish the game. You see a mech being completed onto the Underlord. That is going to help him be alive in most of these fights. He is the one who is tanking most of the damage coming in from Play5. So if he does survive that and make things harder for them, that allows his team to deal more damage. We see the Underlord TP onto the bottom lane. The Sven though, he is inside of those trees. The Sven though, once he pops his God Strength, he is going to TP back to his base and go for the defense. The Lich has that Glimmer Cape being delivered to him. That is going to allow him to save most of his teammates from the stun from the Sven. Once they do stun him, he can just use that Glimmer Cape, and if they don't have detection, then Play5 don't have a play to make to get that kill. The Aegis and the Hurricane Pike completed onto the Shadow Fiend. He is looking really strong. He is frontlining this. He's going to get that tier 2 fairly fast. He's going to be waiting for the lane creeps to show up. So He is going to get shackled by the Wind Ranger, but the Glimmer Cape coming into play. As I said, the Boundless Strike is not going to connect onto the Wind Ranger, so they will not be able to get that kill. But kills don't really matter in this game, do they? It's a game of killing the opposite enemy's buildings, so... I Can Only Dream are going to rotate onto the bottom lane, try to get a push going on, maybe to the tier 3 They do have that significant 21,000 gold advantage in 20 minutes into the game. That is damage which cannot be repaired, my friends. That is total freaking damage. We see the Wind Ranger moonwalking casually onto the Monkey King's ult, and she's probably going to die. No, the Force Staff's coming in. She is going to be safe for now, but it does not seem like the same could be said to the tier 3. The hook from the Clockwork is going to connect onto the Earthshaker. He is going to get glimpsed back by the Earthshaker. Sadly, he does go down to the damage from the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend 3 hits onto the Disruptor, and he is going to go down. The Shadow Fiend is looking really strong. He is going to kill the Doom. Shadow Fiend has a triple kill. A beautiful Echo Slug coming in for the Earthshaker. The Chain Frost does that is going to deal a lot of damage. 4 heroes are down for Play5. One more hit onto the Wind Ranger, and she would go down, but the Wind Ranger is going to survive that. But the same cannot be said for the barracks. Okay, I Can Only Dream are literally tower diving right now. They're fountain diving. They're trying to look for that kill onto the Wind Ranger. Make sure they make space for the Shadow Fiend to get that barracks.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It does not seem like the Shadow Fiend wants to go back. The Shadow Fiend wants to go dive under the fountain of Play5. He is going to get Hurricane Pike, and the Underlord's ulti coming into play right now. He is going to TP back. The Monkey King though, the Monkey King is going to leap onto one of those trees and TP to the top lane. He does not want to go all the way back to base. He wants to go to the lane and get those creeps. Greedy monkey. Sven is looking really weak. Sven is a hero who can make a good comeback in a game, but it seems like the damage done to them is almost irreparable right now. The Clockwork, having completed his Force Staff, has one more tool in his inventory for initiation. The Underlord is going to spot out the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker though, he's looking really weak. The root onto the Earthshaker. One more fire stun maybe? No, he is going to use that stun and he's going to be safe for now. The hook shot is not going to connect on anyone, so they are going to get back. 5 heroes are concentrated onto the mid lane, so I Can Only Dream have to play this carefully. They can still lose the game if the Sven gets the crucial kills and the soaring gold.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Make sure that the Sven can go for those team fights and get a bunch of kills, maybe even complete his VKB. So I Can Only Dream are going to play this safe. They are going to go for the shrine instead. The Shadow Fiend is going to go for the bottom shrine, while the Monkey King and Clockwork are going to go for the top one.
Radiant's top shrine.
So we see a Dagon coming out from the Underlord. That is a really questionable item, my friend. But then again, he is winning, so he can do whatever he wants. We see the blink on the Doom, but only the Blink Dagger though. He does not have anything else to aid his teammates in these fights. We see the Shadow Fiend taunting, doing that animation cancel onto the Requiem of Souls. Okay, a Boundless Strike coming, and 2 shots from the Shadow Fiend is enough to secure a kill onto the Wind Ranger. How squishy of a hero is that? And the Doom, oh my god, the Doom, you don't think Doom is going to be one of those squishy heroes, but he just gets 2 shot by the Shadow Fiend and goes down. But the kill is going to get taken out by the Underlord. Well, I guess Play5 should call GG by now. They don't have a chance of winning. Like, I don't think there's a chance of winning right now. 3 heroes are the only ones who are going to be live, and the Mega Creeps are going to come into play soon. We see the Monkey King spearheading those fights. The Shadow Fiend is dealing a ton of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The tier 3 is going to melt. The Wind Ranger is going to spawn in 2 more seconds, so maybe one last hurrah coming in from Play5 if they want to take this team fight. We see the Disruptor spearheading this, but 2 more hits from the Shadow Fiend is going to secure the kill onto the Disruptor, but a beautiful Echo Slam coming in from the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker does get a kill onto the Shadow Fiend, And that is going to be GG will play called by a Shadow Fiend. Okay, that might be a mistake. You see 3 buyback coming in from the side of Play5. They are going to put a stand, but I don't think that's going to be of any hope since Mega Creeps are going to come soon. They're not focusing on the barracks though. I Can Only Dream are getting a little bit cocky for their own good. And, okay, you see a GG coming in from the Earthshaker. Okay, he is just messing around. He is confused because the Shadow Fiend did call GG by mistake. He accepts that it's a wrong click, even though we know he did say GG will play because he finally died. Cocky. I Can Only Dream, cocky team. Well, since the game is pretty much done, let me give out a shout out to our sponsors, Acer Predator. Do check them out if you don't know who Acer Predator are. They are, you know what Acer is. They give gaming peripherals, they give gaming headsets, they have gaming keyboards and laptops, and Circle CD Gaming. Circle, they make one of the best cabinets for desktop PCs. We have Redbull as our energy sponsor. Redbull, a good source of caffeine, better than coffee if I can say so myself. We have Twitch as our broadcasting partner. If you don't know what Twitch is, please, as I said last time, go to Pluto. We don't need you here on Earth. And Wittyfeed, do check them out. That, the game is almost done. The strength is going to get tornado by the Underlord, and they're not dying yet. That's the whole point. The Lich is also staying alive. The Windranger is trying to get that final kill onto the Lich, but the Lich is not allowing that. The Boomer Cave is coming into play. We see the Shadow Fiend is going to focus onto the Ancient, and the Ancient is going to go down. GG, well played. That was a total stomp coming in from I Can Only Dream. 38-8. So, yeah, that's about it. This is Old Bear, and I'm going to be signing off for now. Do check us out. We are Playtonia. Check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube, check out our Twitch, and good evening, and have a nice day.